Meanwhile, a new report obtained by Lateline has found that more than $12 billion worth of government programs over the past 15 years have failed to significantly cut greenhouse gas emissions or adequately foster a renewable energy alternative. The independent policy think tank the Grattan Institute has produced a scathing analysis of some of the Commonwealth's biggest spending and most high-profile climate change programs. Questions have also been raised about the federal opposition's Direct Action Plan. Margot O'Neill has the story.
It's greenwashing on a massive government scale. More than $12 billion and 300 programs over 15 years, with both sides of politics, federal and state, bathing in the warm green glow of promising to reduce carbon emissions and increase renewable energy.
The federal government is setting aside today $75 million to build the largest solar energy plant in the world.
Tonight, I'm pleased to announce the government will also invest $4.5 billion in a new clean energy initiative.
But they've largely failed, according to a forensic review by the Melbourne-based policy think tank, the Grattan Institute.
Governments have spent a great deal, they've promised a great deal more. Not much has actually happened.
The biggest dud has been the most expensive. Commonwealth grants worth a whopping $7 billion which companies bid for. In just about every case, most of the money was never spent and projects are running years behind schedule.
The good news is we haven't actually wasted our money, but the bad news is that we haven't actually done very much.
For example, the former Howard government's $400 million Greenhouse Gas Abatement Program, or GGAP, announced in 1999. By 2005, only one of 23 projects had recorded any carbon reductions. The Labor government's $3.5 billion clean coal and solar flagship programs are already suffering similar shortfalls, with some companies pulling out and funding deadlines missed. In 15 years, all these Commonwealth grant programs have actually spent less than 20% of their funds. Last year, they produced carbon cuts of just 4 million tonnes, a long way short of the 160 million tonnes Australia must cut by 2020 to meet its international commitments.
Well, I think it's a general issue for all governments that have tried these kind of large-scale grant schemes, that they struggle to actually spend the money. And there's a fundamental reason for that, that when they set up these tenders, they're essentially asking people to promise that they will deliver something in the future. And the problem is that by and large they're trying to do it using technology that's not particularly mature, and often they don't deliver.
This is the most exciting, ambitious energy efficiency program that we will ever see, and it's open for business.
Then there's $5 billion worth of federal and state rebate schemes or consumer subsidies for products such as solar panels and insulation. While these programs generate rampant consumer demand, the Grattan Institute says the price tag is too high, delivering just a small cut in carbon emissions. Last year, only 2 million tonnes.
And of course this is a real waste. $5 billion is a lot of money, and that's $5 billion that has actually passed over the table. And frankly, as a country, we've got precious little to show for it.
Two government policies have worked well. The first is tightening energy efficiency standards, which last year cost only about $15 million, but achieved carbon cuts of 12 million tonnes. But the biggest success stories, according to the Grattan report, are market-based measures, like the renewable energy target, where governments set targets and penalties, but then allow the marketplace to decide winners and losers. Last year, for negligible investment, such measures saw nearly 16 million tonnes in carbon reductions.
So the good news about market mechanisms is that once you set a market going, once you give private enterprise a real incentive to innovate, by and large it does so even better than we forecast. That is without doubt the big message here, that if we want to get to hit enough reductions to hit our targets and do so at a reasonable price, then the only way that we suspect we're going to get within cooey of that is to use these market-based measures.
The Grattan Institute